Hello, traders, and welcome to the market update for the week ending 26th of March 2021. I'm JG, member of the Vedanta Elite trading team here at Master Markets. And today I want to speak to you about emotional intelligence. Now, what do we mean by emotional intelligence? Normally, when we are trading, we've all heard of IQ, okay, the intelligence quotient. And the same thing, you get EQ as well. Generally known as emotional intelligence. And where does that relate to when it comes to trading? Well, as we've known this year, the markets have been pretty kind of rapid in some movements and unpredictable in others. So, the year has started off and, trended in directions that we've not expected it to go in, which kind of brings us to the fact that some of our accounts have, some major drawdowns. But it's understandable that when you see that happening on your accounts and on your platforms, you'll be affected by it in some capacity. Okay. What we need to do is we need to make ourselves stronger and more resilient, especially emotionally. Okay. So we have the intelligence, we've done the courses, we've done our study and research, and we've learned how to trade and how to place the trades. Now we need to understand how to manage our mind in a better capacity as to relate to the trading side of things. Okay. So what we need to basically do is identify our own emotions and respond to them accordingly. Now, remember when I say respond, there's a difference between responding and reacting. Okay, if you react to something, then it's a quick decision that you made on the spur, and sometimes it's not the correct decision to make because you've done it on the spur of the moment without putting some intelligent, slow thinking, as it is mentioned, into it. So when you put some slow thinking, it gives you a chance to kind of respond to a situation rather than react to it. And by responding to it, you normally come out with a better outcome at the end of that. So basically, emotional intelligence, it consists of something like self-awareness. Okay, self-awareness is basically getting to know yourself, or how you come about, and when something happens, the market turns against you. How does that make you feel? How do you react to it, and how do you respond to what's going on in the markets? Okay, you've got to manage your emotions. Like I said, when something happens, you need to make sure that we are emotionally strong enough to respond to it in the correct manner. I am either managing our risk, maybe putting smaller account size on the charts, finding a strategy and a technique that's going to help us manage the drawdowns in a better capacity to protect our accounts. Self-motivation. You've got to work on yourself. There's those that might be familiar with Tony Robbins' phrase of "Can I?" It's constant and never-ending improvement. So you're always working on yourself. Like here at Master Markets, what we are constantly improving on is how the strategies are performing on the charts. And if there is something that we can do to make them more efficient and effective, then we are constantly looking at how to optimize them within the team. There's discussions on a weekly basis of this is what's happening, how can we make this better? So it's a constant and never-ending improvement on yourself, emotionally. Okay. And you've got to be empathetic. So empathetic, obviously, when something does happen, don't beat yourself up about it. It is what it is. Accept it, and we learn from that and move on to fight the next day. But always, be gentle and kind to yourself, so that you're not going to beating yourself up, because that will just lead to a downward spiral and take you into a place that you don't really want to be going to. So basically, as I mentioned, what we're looking at is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is not about suppressing your emotions. It's about learning how to recognize, process, and channel them for your own benefit. Okay. And that's emotional intelligence for you. Okay. Let's move on to the charts and see what's forming in the market this week. Starting off with the Euro USD. And on the Euro USD, yeah, there's a move to the downside, as you can see there. Tells you on the chart as well. As you can see that the arrows, you got the swing arrows that are formed on our smart money indicator, exclusive to Master of the Markets, that it is showing us to be going lower low and lower highs. So there you are. We've got to move to the downside. A little bit slow today with an insider bar, but yeah, it's still got some more movement looking like towards the downside on there. Dollar Swiss in the opposite direction, pretty strong move to the upside. Okay, and it has, in the past month, it's had quite a bit of a rapid move to the upside, and still showing a strong sign for more potential for open equity to the upside. Pound dollar, a little bit of a slower move now. It's took a slight hit from the last time it hit a high. As you can see, one of the record highs for the pound dollar, and then since then it's come down slightly, and it's still showing a bit of support and strength to the downside as we look at the charts in the current day. USD JPY, strong move to the upside, and it is an uptrending market at the moment. So there's still potential to ride this to the upside. Aussie dollar, a little bit of single market compression going on. As you can see that we have a swing arrow there, and the next arrow is a higher low, and you got the swing high there, and the next arrow is a lower high. So therefore you can see that these two arrows are compressed within the other two arrows, making it a single market compression. And you've got a bit of a side movement going on there. Big bar few days ago this week to the downside, but no kind of indication as exactly which direction we are looking at taking that for now. Euro JPY, again, another one which is going generally to the upside. A slight correction this week where the market moved to the downside, but now, as you can see, that it's still showing a bit more support to the upside, especially today on the Euro JPY. FTSE got a little bit of sideways movement, and it has been for most of the year this year. Not a very much to be able to take on the FTSE compared to the Dow. The Dow has generally slightly moved out to the upside, and it still seems to climb as we are looking at the charts now. Few corrections to the downside in the past month and before, but since then you can still see that it's still climbing. We are getting higher lows and higher highs on the Dow. Coffee, uptrending market, single market compression forming as at the moment, but nothing further to assess on the coffee trade. Slightly sideways at the moment. We had a couple of strong moves about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and now there's a little bit of a sideways movement going on in the coffee. Let's see if we can get a breakout from some of these channels and then see a support on the coffee, maybe after the lockdowns ease and the markets start opening up where people can get out. Brent, pretty solid move from like the end of last year till now, and now it's showing a little bit of weakness in the market. The market is coming back down to the downside. As you can see from the swing arrows, they've consistently been going up higher and higher, but now we've had a turn, and it's taken a channel from the low side. So we can probably look for some more either strength going to the downside, or see which way the market is going to go on the Brent dollar. Silver generally to the downside, but in the past 2 weeks it's just like consolidating a little bit, getting a bit of a compression. Hopefully when it does break out from this and make a move, we'll be able to capture it when we're in the right position for it. And finally, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin again is hit its maximum mark there where the swing arrow is, and now we've got a slight move to the downside. It's still a very good move, since, you know, for those that did manage to take the trade on Bitcoin. But with all the news and speculation that is happening, Bitcoin market is a little bit up and down at the moment, which is great. Okay, and that concludes the analysis for the market update. What I'll do now is give you the figures for our two rooms. So this week for the elite room, on the primary runners 20% open equity strategy, we had nothing, which was the same for the 70% OE, was zero. The cash in 4.0, 20% OE, we did no trades on there for this week. However, for the 70% open equity strategy for the cash in, we had a minus 0.12% loss on there. Continuation patterns, quick exits was nothing, and continuation patterns, slow exits, we had a few trades and ended up with a plus 0.38% to the upside on there. So the total for the elite room this week was a plus 0.26% to the upside. And the live trading room, money bars, there's nothing this week. In primary runners, we had a trade and we finished with a 0.20% on upside on there. Liftoff 20% and 70%. We had no trades. We have a trade running at the moment, but there was no trades that closed out for us to be able to take anything on that this week. The cash in 4.0 TSL primary was a minus 0.74% loss on there, the downside. And the cash in 4.0 1 day exit was a 0.73% profit on there, kind of balancing out on the cash in strategies. But that gave us a total for the live trading room of 0.19%. And so the total across both rooms, the elite room at plus 0.26% and the live trading room at 0.19%, the upside, gave us a total of 0.45% this week profit. So, you know, better than the past few weeks. We're getting somewhere with the charts, but let's see how it forms further on, remembering that it's an accumulation throughout the year that we're looking for, and not just the short-term month by month or week by week trades. You know, we'd like all the trades consistently, and then at the end of the year, we'll see where we end up. Okay. Thank you for that. And be sure to like and subscribe to the MTM channels. Until the next time, follow the plan, keep trading like a master.